sometime about 50 years ago, I saw this image for the first time in the flesh. And it ended up being quite an important thing. Because at the time there were about 3 old guys my age, as I am now when I was 21 at the time.
Bit louder.
Okay, I'll start just talking loud. How's that?
Yay! Go on, Steve. You don't need that.
I don't need no stinking microphone. Okay. So anyway, I ended up meeting these old guys, and in this funny little place down on City Island, New York, which is about as far from my yacht club upbringing, but the boat inspired my imagination, and it became a fascination that stayed with me for 50 years. I still imagine the boat all the time. Now, one of the interesting things about Lou Whitman, the old guy, was that he was still fast. And so by the time I was able to beat him, I went to Germany. And I was fast enough to race internationally, even in a borrowed piece of junk boat. So that's it. Oh, I think I'll go to the Worlds in Sweden in 1978. They hadn't seen an American in Europe, since the I don't know, 50 years. What are these Americans? Arthur Nevling, the old goat that was the chairman of the ICF Sailing Committee, brought me downstairs to show me all the medals I wasn't going to win. The first race, I was ahead by 3 minutes when they called it off. The Swedish, who were very arrogant and everything about it, grabbed my boat as it came into the beach and shook it. And pulled on the sails and everything. What the hell? Anyway, I finished second in that World Championship, and I had the second bid to have the next World Championship in the United States. And at that point, I met 2 people. Parham Harding, who was also here, and Del Olson, who's here. Everybody else is not here.
Me too. I didn't take part, but I was in Sweden in '84, and Ricky as well.
Hey! Good Anna!
What I need to say is that the friends in this class grow and change. The class is always turning over and everything else. And it's been my pleasure over 14 World Championships. I missed one, I'm sorry to say. That just knowing the group year after year after year as it changes and grows has been a distinct pleasure. And I encourage you all to keep that pleasure and build on it. Now, 2 years ago, I had a date with death. I had a heart attack. And one reason I lived was because Del and Gail were living on their boat at the end of my dock. And Gail is a retired cardiac nurse. She took one look at me and said, "We're going to the hospital right the fuck now." Okay, and that was probably the most important thing that could happen. And that comes directly from the fact that this funny little boat that inspires our imaginations puts us together and, describing people. There's really nothing good about him except that he sails a canoe. So he can't be all bad. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Hey!
Please, start with your friends.
Thank you so much.